So coming up next, we have somebody representing Gen Z. She's a freelance producer of Capital and also Capital Extra, specialising in sports, music, and also food. And she's also a skills leader for the Apprentice Mission, and that is Jasmine Wissart.
Hello, thank you so much for being here today. It's a pleasure. My name is Jasmine Wissart. As introduced, I'm a presenter specialising in sports, music and food, and I'm also a producer for Capital and Capital Extra. I was actually going to start this talk about how I landed an apprenticeship at Global, which is a media company which owns a bunch of radio stations. As a matter of fact, I want you to raise your hand if you've ever heard of at least one of these stations. So we've got Heart, Capital, Capital Extra, Smooth, Gold, Classic FM, and that's not even all of them. So that's a lot of stations owned by one company, and that's currently who I'm working for. I will start at the very start of my journey, since you guys came up at the very start and talked to me about where you are in your lives, and I want to connect with you lot. And when I was in school, typical story, I wasn't great at maths, English, science. It was a bit of my weaker forte. However, what I was great at is being a class clown, making people laugh, and entertaining. That was my strong suit. However, at that time, I had no idea which kind of direction to pivot in, because obviously there's not a class clown course to go down. I decided during that time that I wanted to be a presenter. I had no idea how to do it, where to go, or what to do, because I was going to a Catholic school. However, one day, my mum was listening to LBC and she had an advert about how there's a media school called Global Academy where they're going to teach you about media, about the radio, about presenting. They've got nice studios, and I was interested. So I went for my induction day. I done pretty well. My friend, she helped me create the video in which I needed to submit. And actually, side note on that, your network is your net worth, similarly as what was said before. The people that you surround yourself with are the people that are going to help you either A, elevate, or B, downgrade. The people that are around you, take a good look and make sure that they're fueling you, encouraging you, making you feel good. If your friend, if your good friend is telling you negative things, if they're putting you down, if they're saying, what, you want to do that? Nah, bro, you can't do that. They need to go, and they need to go quickly, because the people around you need to believe in your dream and they need to support you on that dream. So have a think about that now or later about who's around you. Continuing on the story, she helped me submit my application. I was lucky enough to get into the school, and then for 4 long years, I was traveling 2 hours to get to the school and 2 hours to come back to the school. The school was in London. I was based in High Wycombe, which is outside of London, and it was a long trek. Every single day. I was tired. I was leaving the house at like 6, 7 to make on time for school. It was long, Monday to Friday, non-stop. That was my first test of resilience as a young person. Nobody wants to be getting up that early, and I needed to see the bigger picture, because with resilience, sometimes you're so caught up in the moment of what you're doing that you forget why you're doing it. Anything that you're doing, the actions that you do day in, day out, should be leading towards something bigger and better. You have to have a clear image of what it is that you want to be doing. And I'm not saying you need to have it down to a T. I want to be specifically this title, this specific worker, but you should know what kind of character, what kind of person you want to be. I want someone here to describe themselves in 3 words. Anyone in the room? Any 3 positive words? Yes.
Bubbly, extrovert, Australian.
Those are brilliant. And I love the fact that they were all positives. That's another thing I'm going to touch on. Any way that you refer to yourself, you have to uplift yourself and you have to talk about yourself like you are the man, the woman, the girl, the boy. You need to make yourself feel good. The way that you view yourself is the way how other people view you. When you look in a mirror every morning, brush your teeth, wash your face, I'm confident. I'm strong. I'm resilient. I'm amazing. I'm powerful. Today, I'm going to have a good day. These are positive affirmations I tell myself day in and day out, because they set the foundation of what's to be. As I was 4 years during the school, I got to the very end and I still wanted to be a presenter, but I was a bit still unsure of exactly how I wanted to navigate that. And I decided to take a safe route because at the end of the school journey, the school provides 8 apprenticeships. And within those 8 apprenticeships, you can go down marketing, graphic design, and a couple of others, and I decided to go down marketing. And during that time I was doing work experience with marketing agencies, with Spotify. I had really cool opportunities from my school, but also from a great platform which is called Spring Pod. Highly recommend Spring Pod. Go into Spring Pod and apply. Do not take advantage of apprenticeships and work experiences. Any work experience that you can get, take it, because when you're putting that on your CV, employers are looking for where you've been and what you've been doing. And as soon as you've done a piece of work experience where you can say, for 1 week I was doing some marketing for Spotify, they see that big brand and they're like, oh wow, they're working with big brands. And also you can connect your skills that you've learned from that work experience onto your CV. It's real evidence. Having work experience is real evidence that your skills match up to what you say they are. So I done my apprenticeship, and my apprenticeship in brand marketing for Global, which is the company that owns the radio stations, that was contracted for 12 months. Leading up to the end of those 12 months, although I really enjoyed marketing, I was good at it, I had a lovely team, I knew within my heart and my soul that that wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I wanted to be a presenter after all. So I decided that I was going to try and wiggle my way into becoming a producer for one of the stations that I already do marketing for. I had no idea how I was going to do this. However, what I'm telling you is exactly what I told one of my friends, and we were at work on like the rooftop of the balcony, and I was telling her, and she said, Jasmine, did you know that Heart Breakfast, Heart being the radio station, do an internship for 3 months? 3-month internship on Heart Breakfast. It's paid. You'll get all the experience you need, and it's a great way to break into the programming world. I had no idea. Before you know it, I swear to God, it was crazy. She says, Jasmine, the man that is the manager of that show is walking down right now. He's the one that decides who gets the internships. Go and talk to him. I was like, nah, there's no way. I was completely unprepared. I just heard about the internship. I just found out what this John man is the managing editor of this station. I was so unready, and I felt deep amount of fear in my heart. I was shaking, but she was like, Jasmine, you've got to talk to him. Like, this is your chance. You've got to do it now. You don't know when you're going to catch him again by himself. This is a great opportunity for you. She was like, I'm going to go. You're going to talk to him. And literally, he was probably standing where Elaine is right now. He was standing right there. Me and my friend were sitting down over here, and it's like he was walking in slow motion. Walking in slow motion towards me. My friend got up, walked past him, turned around, gave me a wink, and asked, oh man, I've got to do it. So I literally stood up, I approached him, I was like, hi John, my name's Jasmine, and I'm an apprentice for marketing right now, but I would love to be an intern for Hot Breakfast. It's literally how it went. I was starting on my words, I was a nervous wreck. I was nervous, but it was cool, he was lovely, and he agreed to a meeting. Fun fact, any time in the corporate world where someone says they want to have a catch-up or a meeting, that is an interview. You better prepare like it's an interview, okay? Every single time you're having a meeting or a catch-up with somebody, come prepared. Who are you? What is your experience? What have you done? Where have you worked? What experience have you got? And it doesn't, when I say experience, I'm not talking about you need to have had 10 years experience working for X company. You guys are young people. No one is expecting that. When I say experience, I mean, did you edit a video for one of your friends? Did you go and assist on production for one of your friends' music videos? Did you go out on a walk and take photographs of the pictures? Now you're a photographer. Every single thing that you do, every activity, every task, that becomes a skill. Maximize it and exaggerate it until you're at a point where you can actually have some real experience in the real world. Maximize everything. So I had my catch up, aka interview with this guy, and then officially got invited into an interview and I got the job. I was very grateful. However, there was one condition, and that is that I had to live within zone 1, 2, and 3 in London in order to do the job. And that's because it was a very early wake up call and health and safety reasons. They have to send you a car in the morning because I was too young to travel by myself. And I had to live within zone 1, 2, 3. I lived in High Wycombe, which is way outside of London. There ain't no way I'm living within zone 1, 2, and 3. At the time, I was like, oh man, like, what am I gonna do? At the time, the only option was to live with my grandma and to stay in her spare room. That was the plan. That was the plan leading up until 3 weeks before I was about to start the job. That plan fell through completely. That was no longer a thing. I had to wiggle my way out of the situation. I was on share room, spare room, reaching out to colleagues, even friends, family. I was like, does anyone have somewhere for me to live? By the good grace of God, one of my auntie's friends said that she has a friend that owns an apartment, literally a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, owns an apartment in London, but he's actually now moved to Poland and the apartment stands empty. Long story short, I talked to him and he said that I can rent out that place for a considerably cheaper price, considering my conditions of just being a little intern working for a new company. So that was a blessing. And part of the reason why I tell you that is because everything is always working out for you. Matter of fact, let's do an affirmation right now. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. And it is. I want you to remember that. Everything is always working out. Even when you are in the gutters, 3 weeks, I started a new job. I was thinking I was about to tell my new manager that he ain't going to be my manager no more. Everything will always work out. I started. It was a 3-month contract. 3-month contract. My rent had to be paid. What was I going to do? Leading up to the 3 months, I knew that I had to start thinking outside of the box, reach out and make sure that there was an opportunity that was going to be lined up waiting for me. There was no opportunity lined up waiting for me. However, the Heart Breakfast was gracious enough to extend my contract for another 2 months. I'd done the 2 months. It was great. I was leading up to the very end. And after my networking, which is something I'm about to touch on, I was able to have conversations with Capital and they provided me an opportunity as assistant producer for their breakfast show. And for those of you who don't know, to go from an intern to a producer within 6 months is 5 months, it's completely unheard of. It is so difficult. It's so difficult. But I had this trial of 1 week, so I knew that at least I had 1 week worth of job afterwards. And I also had just interviewed for Capital Extra. Matter of fact, fun story about that. I was talking to Capital Extra for a long time. I saw the job application on LinkedIn, wasn't told about it in person, but I applied online and I had plans in my mind to talk to the women who had the power to give me the job the next day. Next day, I walk into the building and I see her. All of a sudden, she's waiting for the elevator. I'm waiting for the elevator. Elevator pitch, let's go! I was ready. As I said, every conversation or catch up is an interview. So I came ready. I was like, oh, so nice to see you, Lisa. I've been on Hot Breakfast for 5 months now. I've learned this. This is what I've done. This is what I've worked on. I'd love to have this producer job because I think I'd be great at it because of ABC. And I was grinding. I had another more formal catch up with her until I was offered an interview later on. Now, I remember it was my last week on Heart Breakfast, and the only thing I had lined up was 1 week of assistant producing on Capital Breakfast. That was the only guarantee of work I had during that time. And I was very, very, very nervous because I had a rent due, I needed a life, I needed a career, and that's all I had. And I remember this verbatim, one of my colleagues saying to me on my last week, Jasmine, you've got this 1 week on Capital Breakfast, but then after that, it's all going to go downhill, isn't it? I was like, what? I couldn't I couldn't, like, my heart, like, it's like a spear went through your heart. I was, 19? And for somebody that is like an older, male, middle-aged white man colleague to be telling me that, it was horrible. It was horrible. What a way to make someone feel that's just starting off their career in programming. It's not nice at all whatsoever. But that fueled me and that motivated me because I knew that he was going to be eating on those words in about a couple of months. After that, I had a very successful time on Capital Breakfast. I was obviously very good. I'd done the job well. I came prepared. I was determined. And they offered me some more work on Capital Daytime. So now I had another shift lined up for another week where I was going to be working with them. During this period as well, I was networking all around the building, and now I'll touch on networking. Networking is so important. Your network is your net worth. Even if you're in one state, like for example, my case, I was in marketing. Although you are one department, you need to be talking to everyone and everyone possible. You need to be networking as much as possible and getting to know people and having different opportunities. And my time is finished. And damn, I haven't even really started. Like, I'm only halfway there. But what I will say is don't ever give up. Do not ever give up. Everything will always fall into place for you. Whatever dreams you have, know they're not just dreams, not fantasies. They are goals. They are goals. And the most important thing to do is to start. So start. Be confident within who you are. Who you are is enough. Your environment does not define you, and you are absolutely destined for greatness. Matter of fact, let's end on that, on a positive affirmation. I am destined for greatness. I am destined for greatness. I am destined for greatness. And last time. I am destined for greatness.